So we begin in Iran, where there are fears that dozens of people could be dead after a naval ship was mistakenly hit by a missile during an exercise. It's confirmed the accident killed one sailor. State TV says several others were injured. It happened when a support vessel got too close to a target during Iranian naval exercises in the Jask region of southern Iran.
Yeah, Alicia, this all broke late last night with news that Dr. Anthony Fauci is the most high-profile coronavirus task force member to say he's going to be going into a modified quarantine. And what does that mean? He's going to be trying to self-isolate as much as possible for the next 2 weeks, and that comes after coming into contact with somebody who tested positive for coronavirus at the White House this week. We know a total of 2 staffers have tested positive. So out of an abundance of caution, Dr. Fauci, along with CDC Director Dr. Redfield and FDA Commissioner Stephen Hahn, have decided to go to the ultimate length in terms of medical safety and work remotely. But what's critical is that this coming week, they are also scheduled to be on Capitol Hill. And in a first, in terms of this coronavirus pandemic, they're going to be appearing before the Senate Health Committee via teleconference.
Protesters are back atop the barricades on Baghdad's Republican Bridge, demanding the downfall of a government that has only been in power for 3 days. Mustafa al-Kadhimi was confirmed as prime minister last Thursday, nearly 6 months after anti-government demonstrations forced his predecessor, Adel Abdel Mahdi, to step down. But people here see Kadhimi not as a chance to start over, but as the continuation of a system that has failed them.
In the beginning, every prime minister makes concessions, but we don't know what the end result will be. We're not protesting against one person, we are protesting against all parties. All the parties inside parliament are still the same, so nothing will change.
The UK has been in lockdown for more than 6 weeks. The daily death toll is dropping, but the government says it's too early to significantly lift the lockdown. Instead, it's released a plan outlining how it will reopen society in phases. From Monday, people who can't work from home, like those in manufacturing and construction, have been asked to go back to work. Starting Wednesday, Brits will be allowed unlimited amounts of outdoor exercise by themselves or with people they live with. From June, some shops and primary schools could reopen, and if infection rates are low enough by July, then cafes and restaurants might be able to start trading again.
And of course, we'll be monitoring our progress locally, regionally, and nationally. And if there are outbreaks, if there are problems, we will not hesitate to put on the brakes.
Wuhan lifted its lockdown a month ago. On Monday, it reported its first cluster of infections since then. New COVID-19 cases across China are now in 2-digit numbers. On top of Wuhan, the city where the COVID-19 epidemic first started, other cases were detected in the northern provinces. These new cases bring concern of a potential new wave of infections. That's why people hold on to their precautionary measures and why some restrictions are maintained to limit the risks. Still, China has went ahead and reopened businesses and schools where children will have to remain cautious.
San Francisco is taking a controversial approach to keeping at-risk communities safe from the coronavirus. Recent reports say the city's public health department is providing alcohol, marijuana, and methadone free of charge to those seeking shelter in hotels during the pandemic. The department argues the freebies are meant to help the homeless hotel guests who have the virus successfully complete their quarantine and is offered to self-disclosed addicts only. Those seeking to self-isolate are required to undergo a health screening and are reportedly provided with resources to try and quit if they disclose they suffer from some form of substance abuse.
A shipment of 2 million face masks will soon be arriving in the United States, sent by South Korea. It's Seoul's latest gesture of support for its main ally, having sent the U.S. coronavirus test kits last month.
South Korea has sent an emergency package of 2 million face masks to the U.S. The masks will arrive in the U.S. on Monday and are to be supplied to medical facilities and personnel in need through the U.S. Federal Emergency Management Agency. The assistance follows a phone conversation between Presidents Moon and Trump on COVID-19 in late March. The domestic supply of masks and Seoul's alliance with Washington were taken into account.
I want to play you first one of my favourite characters from the television sitcom Seinfeld. He was Frank Costanza, George's dad. Have a look.
Oh.
This is Frank Costanza.
What do you want?
You think you can keep us out of Florida? We're moving in lock, stock, and barrel. We're going to be in the pool. We're going to be in the clubhouse. We're going to be all over that shuffleboard court. And I dare you to keep me out!
That actor is Jerry Stiller, and as you saw on the strap there, sad news that he's passed away at the age of 92 from natural causes, not coronavirus or anything, just the passing of Jerry Stiller at 92. I didn't realise, the father of Ben Stiller. There you go, it all makes sense now.
The Porsche driver accused of taunting a dying police officer after the Eastern Freeway crash is pleading to be released from custody. Police warn Richard Pusey is a violent offender with no regard for the law or anyone who gets in his way. Court reporter Jade Vincent.
If filming and fleeing a fatal collision didn't concern police enough, a psychological report stating Richard Pusey has fantasised about killing people certainly does. Investigators want him kept behind bars, believing he poses an unacceptable risk of intimidating witnesses to the crash that claimed the lives of 4 police officers. Opposing Pusey's bail, police told the court the 41-year-old mortgage broker has a violent history. Past incidents include being arrested and kicked off a Tiger Airways flight for abusing staff, harassing a Westpac employee and threatening to drive down Burke Street, making reference to the James Gargasoulis attack.